And welcome to Shooting the Shit, episode number 12. My name is Jim, and I'm here with my very special guest, Jeff, all the way from the Netherlands, aka 101 Bronson. Hello, sir. How are you today?
I am doing good. You picked a lovely day for this. Like I said, it's 30 degrees Celsius just before we went live. So it's a pretty hot one. So excuse my appearance, everyone. That's why I'm dressed in a tank top because I can't stand anything with sleeves when it's this hot. So it's, yeah. But yeah, it's a lovely day, doing good, and glad to be here.
Welcome to the gun show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the gun show. There you go. But no, man, it's absolutely great to have you here. I've been watching your content for a very long time. Uh, and speaking of, why don't we get into that right now? Uh, as you can see, Jeff's name of his channel and his handle is 101 Bronson. Why don't you give us a little bit of information about your channel? When did you start?
Oh, I started, I think, back in 2013, I guess, when I was, 16, 15, 16. So I was in my teens. And around that time, I was really getting into Bronson and stuff. So I was like, hey, I never hear anyone talk about Bronson on YouTube. It's like every channel that deals with actions like Sly or Arnold or all the usual suspects. Except for there was a guy called Carlos Eastwood for Life, and we of course named his channel after Clint Eastwood. So I was like, hey, 101 Bronson. Let's put some spotlight on Bronson because I really feel he's such an underrated, tough guy, action star, actor. So that's why I named the channel 101 Bronson, just to bring some spotlight on it, and made him sort of the mascot of the channel. Like my icon, is, of course, is a picture of Bronson and stuff. So even though I go way beyond Bronson in my movie taste, obviously, but just figured it would be the right thing to do is to put some attention to Bronson. What I do on my channel is I do regular movie pickups, monthly collection updates. Currently, I'm doing season 3 of my Al Pacino retrospective review series, in which I go through every single movie of Al Pacino, who is my favorite actor of all time. Other than that, I'm a big fan of all things action, tough guy movies. Spaghetti westerns is one of my favorite genres. I love all the Italian sort of subgenres, the giallos, Euro crimes, the ones that they did in the 70s. So it's a variety of a lot of stuff that I like. Horror films, of course, as well. Yeah, there's a lot, and all that stuff can be found on my channel. I occasionally do video game streams as well, where I play through some video games. I haven't done that in a while. I should really do another one of those. But yeah, that's sort of a couple of the things that I do. And of course, I'm also part of the Westerns for Life podcast, along with Carlos, who I mentioned before, Eastwood for Life, and then also Dan, who has now named his channel The Talking Movies and the Westerns for Life podcast. So yeah, Dan and Carlos, I'm collaborating with those two on the live streams and also on the podcast. So that's been a great adventure as well, great journey. So that's about the gist of it, I guess. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And you also do a lot of stuff with Gareth over at Video Tasties
Yes,
occasionally too. I see you
pretty much
guys
every
together.
month. Yeah, pretty much every month I join them for either one or two, depending on how I can fit it into my schedule. Join them for one or two watch parties. Usually on the bank holidays we do the James Bond watch parties.
Right.
I'm a big Bond fan as well, so yeah, I do a lot with Gareth as well. Video Tasties, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. All right, now before we get any further, I want to acknowledge some people in the crowd right away. See who we've got today. We've got Greg is here. Hey, Greg, how are you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it, as always. We've got Sailor Outlaw George. Thank you, George. Sydney Eubanks is here, as always. Thank you, Sydney.
Sydney.
And one of my partners in crime, Kenny,
Kenny.
My guest from a couple of weeks ago, the Yam King, Kenny himself. Thank you so
Indeed.
much, buddy. I appreciate it. And speaking of yams, there's Yam's physical catalog of media.
Yam.
How's it going, Yam? Can't wear a long sleeve top in this weather. No chance. Yeah.
Same.
I understand.
Yeah, the weather in England, I think, is pretty similar to what it is over here. So yeah, I feel you.
We've got my good friend Daniel Baradate is here. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Daniel.
Words and Pictures is here as always. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Is this the real 101 or
this ain't no wannabe?
Robert Bronzy?
101 Bronson ain't no kind of wannabe.
That's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Corey's here from Wilkie's Movies and Music. Hey, Corey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Corey.
Melina is here. Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig was alive. Yeah, they still are
They
alive as
still
far as
are,
I
yes.
know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And look at Sydney's already got questions going, but that's okay. One moment.
No worries.
I am so sorry. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Yeah, there you go. First interruption.
Never fails. 5 minutes, 40 seconds into it. So that's a new record. Sorry about that, everybody. But anyway, Sydney, before we get into the comments or further, I did see too many people are popping in here. I can't keep up. Jim, I have a question. Law-abiding citizen, 2009. Yes, I'm aware of it. Did you have a gripe with the ending of the movie? As far as the plot or how I felt about it, or I mean, the whole movie's ridiculous, but it's entertaining as hell. So I'll just leave it at that. I got bigger gripes about a lot of stuff besides the ending, but again, you don't go to a movie like that for plot. You go to it for what it delivers. Did you see that movie? I'm sure you've seen that movie.
I've not seen that one. No.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, you'd like it. I think you'd really like it.
Okay.
Let's see here. What else do we got? I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Oh, my good friend Texas is here, and since Texas is here,
Texas.
I will take this opportunity because I'm a whore to plug my show with Kenny and Sean, and the next episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim on Tuesday night, which is the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our very special guest will be Texas from Texas Hardcore. We're going to be talking about summer comedies, movies that have to do with, or comedies that have to do with summer, or comedies that were released in the summertime, what some of our favorites would be. So that will be on Tuesday night, either on the Talking Movies 2024 channel or at Sean's channel at Movie Assault. So Texas, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. And speaking of Carlos, here's Carlos right there. Hey, Jim and Jeff, sorry I'm late. I just finished watching Convoy, a real truckers movie, which is a lot better than that over-the-top shit.
Starting already, are we?
Oh, welcome, Carlos. That's awesome. Yeah. And sorry, Jeff, I tend to agree with what he just said.
Well, I've worn my over-the-top trucker's cap just in honor of that film. So
I know. We're going to talk about that later. Don't think I didn't notice.
And when it comes time, I'll put my Rocky fedora on. Don't you worry.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I didn't mean to give you a stroke last time when I was talking about my feelings for the Rocky franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, Yam says you can watch the
Speaking
whole
of
Rocky
which,
franchise as well as other films, or you can watch The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West, and Westerns, but not Rocky. Which are you picking?
oh,
I'll go with the Westerns.
I mean, I love Rocky, but in that case, I will pick Once Upon a Time because Once Upon a Time in the West is my second favorite movie of all time. So yeah.
Yeah, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is like
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, that's right there as well.
It's
Yeah.
in my top 5 for sure.
Rocky is
yeah.
in my top 10, but it's not that high. So yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
with the other ones. Yeah.
Nice question there, Yam. Okay, and did you get any of the hail? We finally got some of the rain. No, it's sunny and warm here where I'm at. Not hot like where Jeff's at.
I wish we had some rain. Yeah.
And Patrick is here for the arm wrestling. Jeff would smoke me in arm wrestling there, Patrick. It wouldn't be any kind of contest whatsoever. Greg says, The Mechanic and Mr. Majestic are 2 of my favorite Bronson films. Yeah, those are both
Yeah,
great.
those definitely top 10 ones. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, The Mechanic is definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, I'm just checking, make sure I didn't miss anybody. And if I did, I apologize, but I got to get on with the show here. Okay, so we discussed, how you started and some of the different topics that you do on your channel or some of the genres that you cover for the most part. Do you have it like one particular genre in particular that's your favorite, that's your go-to, that, you you love a spectrum of movies, but if you only had to pick one, what's your go-to?
It would leave a lot out, but I would have to go spaghetti westerns.
Okay.
Just
What
because I can just watch, even if it's a low grade, very cheap spaghetti western. It's just the style of it. I can just watch them any day.
Okay. Now, what about least favorite? Are there a couple of genres of movies that you just have no interest whatsoever, regardless of quality? You're like, yeah, I heard it's good. It's not my thing. I don't want to watch it.
Well, I'm not the biggest sci-fi fan, but there are exceptions. I would say definitely my least watched genre is musicals, without doubt. Because with the exception of maybe something like Grease, there's not really too much there that I'm like, that I'm digging or whatever. So that genre is just not for me. I just find the whole concept of people just talking and out of the blue they start singing. I just find that ridiculous. So it doesn't work for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I always felt that way when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
It's like you and me were just talking. All of a sudden we start singing about how our day went. It's like, no, it's, yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to serenade you, buddy. I got warm feelings for you, but not that one. Do you have a first movie memory of when you went to a theater and saw something when you were a child?
Yeah, as a kid, Rocky was some of the Rocky films were some of the first films I ever watched. The Bond films as well. When I was 6, 7 years old, was always those films. That really laid the foundation of where I am today, I guess. When I was 11 years old, it was that first time watch of Scarface that really sealed the deal. But no, growing up, it was the Bond films, it was the Rocky films. My brother introduced me to Jean-Claude Van Damme at a very early age with Bloodsport and Kickboxer. My dad was a Rambo fan, so I saw First Blood and First Blood Part 2 when I was way too young. So I grew up on some of those films. Yeah.
Hey, there's worse films to grow up with, I mean, there really are.
Yeah.
How about video? Do you remember like going to a video store?
We had VHS. I don't think I've ever went to a video store myself, but we did have VHS for a few years when I was growing up, and right until I was 5 or 6, or I guess it would be around that time. Some of the first films I watched were VHS. We had a VHS tape of Last Action Hero. That was my first Arnie film. We had a VHS tape of Nowhere to Run, which was my first Jean-Claude Van Damme film, which I saw that way too young because obviously Rosanna Arquette has some steamy scenes in that film. Woo. And left quite an impression on me. So yeah, we did have VHS around the house, and I still have some VHS tapes actually. But yeah.
Yeah, no, Rosanna Arquette's yams. Yeah. Right there. Hey, yams.
Yams, exactly.
Let's see here real quickly before I go on to my next question. Let's see here. And Melina says, next guest star be Sean, never episode. Well, yes, the next episode, 2 weeks from now, my guest will be Sean from Cinephile World Order, but we'll go into that later on. But thank you, Melina. Okay, let's see here real quickly. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. As Bronson is in a vest, how many action movies can you name where the hero wears a vest?
Well, Die Hard springs to mind. That's obviously, I think, the most famous one, but I think there's a few others.
And of course, Gareth is here. Jeff can sing the entire soundtrack to Paint Your Wagon.
Sadly, I have seen that film. I have it in my Eastwood collection. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Watching you watch that.
Yeah.
Brought me so much joy.
Yeah. The live chat was the most joyful.
You were in hell.
That experience. Yeah.
You were in hell. And of course, Patrick has to get cheeky and say, Paint Your Wagon was a little over the top. Sydney, Jim, name your top 3 Billy Bob Thornton movies. Bad Santa.
Yeah.
He's got a very small part in it, but I'll still say, what the hell? Tombstone, because Kurt Russell slaps the living shit out of him. And Armageddon. Even though Armageddon is totally ridiculous, but how about you?
Well, yeah, definitely Bad Santa. Monsters Ball. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I do like him in Bandits with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I'll say that one.
Cool. Jeff, with spaghetti westerns and action films, how close is action films behind action? Is it closer?
Maybe that's Western. I think.
Oh, what? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it an easy? Is it closer or an easy Western or easy win for Westerns?
Well, the thing is with the spaghetti westerns, they're action packed, so they kind of are action films, but then set in the Old West pretty much, and that's why I love those westerns in particular. So it's kind of action and spaghetti westerns are very, very, very close together for me. But I would say spaghetti westerns first, and then action. But it's still,
Yeah.
It all connects to each other. So
right. Jim, what are your least favorite Clint Eastwood movies?
Paint Your Wagon.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. My name is not Jim.
Yeah.
City Heat. I wasn't big on.
Yeah, City Heat's horrible.
Yeah,
I saw that one theatrically, and that was 2 hours I won't get back.
What a waste of both talents. Yeah,
I was so excited to see that movie. Considering it was Burt and Clint.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were like gods to me as a kid, as a teenager. And God, what a piece of shit. I wasn't a big fan of Bloodwork.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of Bronco Billy. Now, I should watch that again.
That's not too bad.
Because I saw it at the drive-in when I was a kid. And I went in expecting something different. And, because up until that point, Clint Eastwood was like this tough guy. And then he gets on Bronco Billy and he's playing like, all you little buckaroo, little cowboys and cowgirls and shit. And I remember my father in the front seat of the car going, what the fuck are we watching? So I should probably give that one another chance. But how about you besides Paint Your Wagon? And City?
Yeah, definitely City, like I said. And also, wasn't too big on Firefox the first time I watched that. That one has grown on me slightly. It's gone up a few spots.
The first half of that movie's boring as shit.
Yeah.
But once it gets to plane, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gone up a few spots. Don't mind Bloodworks. That's a little higher for me. I don't know. There's not too many Clint films I dislike. He's done a lot of winners. More winners definitely than losers. So
yeah, he's pretty solid overall.
Yeah, because that would be about it. Yeah.
Plus, he's made so many damn movies. It's like there's quite a few that I've seen them, but I quite honestly forgot about because he's made so many. So. But thank you, Cindy. That was
Cry Macho. That was actually a pretty underwhelming one for me.
Somebody brought that one to my attention, and I did the video I did the other day was summer releases, and I mentioned Unforgiven, and I said that was to date, as far as I know, his last Western. Somebody in the comments mentioned Cry Macho, and I hadn't seen it, and I was like. I was unaware that movie was a Western, and he says that it wasn't, but it had a Western vibe to it, is the way he put it.
Clint wears the cowboy hat again, and he plays his former rodeo, rodeo cowboy, I guess. And he goes on a trip to Mexico to save a young boy from the cartels or something like that. It's all a little foggy, but I was pretty underwhelmed with that film. It wasn't really really what I was expecting it to be. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't miss anything then.
He does he does get back on the horse again. He gets back in the saddle. That was a cool scene where he gets back on the horse. It's like, oh, it's cool. That's the Western vibe, I guess. But yeah, it's a modern Western. It's a modern setting. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Kevin is here from Florida. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Kevin. I appreciate your support. And let's see here, make sure I almost skipped some stuff. Patrick says Billy Bob was good in Faster. Yeah.
I'll give that one a shout as well. Yeah, Faster.
And let's see here. The Troublemaker says, I know Jeff is a big Pacino fan. and his channel should be named 101 Pacino. 1 stands for 1 Academy Award, 0 stands for no Academy Award sense, and 1 stands for Academy Award due equal to their. Oh, come on now, be nice.
Well, as I've told Carlos, when it comes to awards, Pacino does have the bigger, shelf for his awards because he's won Tonys, he's won Emmys, he's won Golden Globes. De Niro hasn't won any of that shit, so
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, okay, these two are partners, okay? This is all in fun. They love to fuck with each other, but one of the things is Carlos is definitely a De Niro guy, and Jeff is definitely a Pacino guy, even though both of them love both actors. It's not like one of them says, hey, your guy sucks. That ain't the case. It's more or less like, my dad can beat up your dad.
pretty much, yeah.
Like I said, I love you too, man. You guys crack me up. Let's see here. Billy Bob, Waking Up in Reno in 2002. I haven't seen that one.
Absolutely,
I'm unfamiliar with that one.
No.
One False Move on Deadly Ground. Simple Plan. How could I have forgot Simple Plan? That movie, Billy Bob is phenomenal in that. Good call, Gareth.
But on Deadly Ground, though, he's only there for 10 seconds. So
I was going to say, not so much on Deadly Ground. When Jeff watched Paint Your Wagon, I wanted to give him encouragement, him a hug, and say, you've got this, Jeff. You can make it through this. Don't give up, champ. Yeah, like I said, I was watching that thing and just laughing my ass off for 2 hours. You're the best around.
Yeah, when it got time to, I talk to the trees from Clint, I was like, oh no, fuck this shit. Yeah. And that's about 10 minutes into the film, so yeah.
That's the opening digs and facts of Jeff. Guys, your top 3 acting performances of all time, male or female. Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good one, yeah.
Top 3 acting performances of all time. Man.
That's tough.
Man, that is tough. That is very tough. Kane Hodder and Jason X. Well, man, shit. I mean, of all time, for only 3, that's rough, man.
Yeah.
That's rough. See, thanks, Carlos. For the next 45 minutes, it's just going to be 2 guys staring off into space going,
I'm just going to shout 3 out. This is by no means a definitive. Pacino and Scarface, obviously. Enough said. For me, obviously. De Niro, Raging Bull. There you go, Carlos. And Dustin Hoffman and Rayman.
Very good. I'll go with De Niro, Raging Bull. I'll go with Pacino, but not Scarface or Son of a Woman. I'll go with Pacino. I'll go with Pacino and Dog Day Afternoon.
That would be the other Pacino one I probably would have picked, yeah.
And I got to give some ladies some love for somebody who wasn't even nominated, but the performance blew me away. And I mentioned it a lot. Toni Collette in Hereditary. She is just so fucking good in that movie. I'm sorry, Patrick. I know you think it's overacting and you're wrong. Great question, Carlos, as usual. Sydney likes Sling Blade. Yeah, Sling Blade's great. Larry is here.
Hey, Larry.
Paint Your Wagon stream was classic, Jeff. Yeah, it was.
It is one of my most watched ones, so it's done something, all right? So,
yeah. Richard Jordan in Gettysburg. Yeah, I like Richard Jordan. I always thought Richard Jordan was a very underrated actor. And a lot of that has to do with Logan's Run, because I saw Logan's Run so early as a child. Jeff is biting. That's like saying winning more NFL games than any other team matters, but winning a Super Bowl, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I haven't checked my phone, but I'm sure Carlos has sent me a picture of a light bulb or a light switch. He usually does that. He's like, this is a light switch. I just, yeah.
Okay, let's get back into some of my stuff. We're going to play the first game of the afternoon, top 3, which is one of my favorites. And like I told you before the show, I try to tailor it towards each guest. So in year 1, we're going to go this route. Top 3 spaghetti westerns. Go.
Once Upon a Time in the West, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I forget what my number 3 is. I think I've gone for The Great Silence when I did my ranking. So The Great Silence, number 3.
Okay. By the way, this is just off the top of your head, so you're not going to be held against that shit.
Yeah.
Top 3 American westerns.
Unforgiven, High Plains Drifter. Let's pick one of the Duke. Hondo.
Good. Nice one. Top 3 70s action films.
Ooh. Death Wish. Dirty Harry. Should I go with another Bronson one? Yeah, let's throw the Mechanic in there.
Top 3 80s action films.
Well, now we're talking. Rambo First Blood Part 2. Commando, which is pretty much Rambo First Blood Part 2, but more goofier, but still awesome. Let's see. RoboCop.
Top 3 canon films.
Over the Top, 1987. Death Wish 3. And 10 to Midnight. Although objectively, I would have gone with Runaway Train, Barfly, and oh god, there was another one I saw recently that was actually pretty good when it comes to actual storytelling and so I forgot the name of it, but objectively I would have picked much better ones, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I said favorite. I didn't say best.
Yeah.
Because my favorite canon film of all time is Invasion USA. But
that is a strong runner-up, yeah.
Runaway Train is up here, and Invasion USA is down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all objective. But here we go. Top 3 Caracol films, or Kuroko, or however you pronounce it.
Yes. Terminator 2. That's the best one. Total Recall. They also did the Rambo films in the 80s, so let's go with, again, Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Awesome. See, that wasn't too painful.
No, that was okay.
Okay, let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Tony Collette and Paint Your Headless Kid. That's pretty good, Patrick. That's pretty good. Larry's also a fan of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, how can you not be? That movie's great. Oops. See, you're so good, Larry. You get the comment twice. Daniel taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. Yeah, absolutely.
I've not seen the original. I've only seen the remake with Denzel, but I got to see the original. Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the original just because I grew up with it. But as far as like action movies go, if you're just going like at an action movie level, the remake is definitely better. The first one's almost more like a black comedy. Walter Matthau's in it. What more do you expect? But it's awesome. I mean, it's just an awesome movie. Daniel hated Commando.
Oh, wow.
You know what? I loved Commando when I first saw it, and I thought that it was cheesy, but it was cheesy fun. But it's one of those movies that I do not own because I've seen it so many times when I was working at a theater that I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to watch Commando anymore. But I'm not going to shit on it. I mean, that movie, people love that movie.
I mean, look, if we look at it objectively, it's not a well-made film. It's got continuity errors and this and that, but it's just so damn entertaining. It's a
cartoon,
and it's
very
short.
entertaining.
It's not even 90 minutes. It flies by. So,
that movie moves. It really moves.
Yeah.
RoboCop was fantastic. Yeah, RoboCop's one of my all-time favorites. Breaking and Breaking 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Yeah.
Alex, how are you guys keeping a straight face when talking about canon films?
Because canon's awesome.
Canon is awesome. But thank you for being here, Alex. I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, canon. I always describe canon as crap, but it's glorious crap.
Yeah.
It's just glorious crap. I see that logo and I just get happy.
Yeah, the two C's coming together. Yeah, true. Same for me.
Let's see here. Barrett says the original is great. Okay, here we go. Carlos with his first matchup of the day.
I knew these were going to be popping up. Yeah.
Okay, Jeff, here we go. Godfather 2 versus Once Upon a Time in America.
That is a tough one. I love Once Upon a Time because Sergio Leone is my favorite director. But I will probably go Godfather 2 in that one. Slapshot, Cool Runnings, probably Cool Runnings. That's the easiest one there. Serpico versus Training Day. I love Training Day when I watched that very recently for the first time. But Serpico is, to me, Serpico is what Raging Bull is to De Niro. It's like a performance where the actor just transforms.
Yeah.
So I'll go Serpico for that one.
Yeah, Pacino's great in that movie. I will also go with Godfather 2 by a hair because, like you, I'm a huge
that's
Leone.
the toughest one.
Yeah, I'm a huge Leone fan, like you. But Godfather 2 is just, it's a masterpiece. It really is. It's just one of those movies. Slapshot versus Cool Runnings is the easy one for me, and that's Slapshot because, again, that's a movie that I grew up with. It's one of my top 5 comedies of all time. I fucking love that movie. Serpico and Training Day, that one's tough. I'll go with Training Day by a hair, just by a hair, because Denzel.
Yeah, it was really good, to be fair.
Denzel and Ethan Hawke, the two of them are just fantastic in that movie. But thank you, Carlos. That's great. Charlie Varick was good too. I'm not familiar with that one.
That rings a bell, but yeah.
Hard Times, underrated Bronson film. Absolutely.
Yes, that is my second favorite Bronson film after Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that one at the drive-in too.
Yeah, I love that film.
Commando is a masterpiece. I don't know if I would go so far as to say it's a masterpiece. One of my favorite performances of all time is Bette Davis in Human Bondage from 1934. I disgust you, the monologue. She says the acting with that scene is incredible. That's like the monologue that Alec Baldwin gives in Glengarry Glen Ross is like one of the greatest performances ever.
Always be closing. Yeah.
Yep.
Coffee's for closers only. Yeah.
That's right. You get water. Commando needed an editor so bad. Going to pretend you didn't say that, Pat. We love Lucinda Dickey, yeah.
Especially a Ninja Free to Domination.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather, that's another one. People like love that movie, and I've never been a fan of it, but I understand why people love it because it's just so batshit crazy.
That's why I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get
it. It's by no means a great movie, but it's just so batshit insane. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Masters of the Universe. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, not as much as many people do.
I've never seen it.
Oh.
Yeah, one of my earlier guests, Daniel. He was like my second or third guest. He was shocked. Oh, yeah. He was like, "You didn't see that?" And I was like, "Dude, I was 20 years old when that movie came out. I could have given less than a shit about He-Man at 20 years old." He's like, "Fair enough." The thing about Canon is they did a ton of films for a short period of time. I'd say Life Force is their best. Life Force is definitely one of my favorites. It's right behind Invasion USA.
Yeah, it's very watchable for sure. That one, yeah.
Yeah. Matilda May.
Few reasons.
Matilda May.
Couple of reasons.
Ooh-wee. Yeah. Working at seeing that at the drive-in for the first time is an experience I'll never forget, man. Because people were just laying on those horns every time she walked out. It was like just people going crazy, man. It was awesome. Patrick says, "I say American Ninja is the best Canon film." Yeah, Dudikoff.
Do like Dudikoff, yeah.
Carlos says Godfather 2, Slapshot Easy, and Training Day. Marlon Brando, not in Godfather, replaced by young Robert De Niro, his young version, his character.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he died at the end of the first one. That's why he wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, plus he went through some shit on the set of the first one, so he didn't want to come back for the second one because they could have made him younger because he was pretty young when he did that.
Oh yeah, they aged him up.
He wasn't that old in Godfather 1, but yeah.
Yeah, they aged him up. I prefer Kuroko over Cannon, but I love that Cannon opening title and the sound coming from it. Gives me the buzz before the Cannon talkie starts. Yeah. Kuroko they definitely had a higher quality overall
Oh yeah.
average than Canon, no doubt, you know. But Canon's just growing up with those movies, seeing them in the theater and seeing them on video at the time, you know. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's like a warm blanket, you know.
Yeah.
It's like when I was on a live stream with the Loon the other day, uh, Sammy and Ali's stream, and they were talking about the Friday the 13th films, and none of them liked those movies. They were all like, you know,
Oh wow.
and I told them that I love those movies, but I will never say, you know, because they were all like, their main complaint was like, the first one this happens, and the second one the same thing happens, and you know, and I'm like, yeah, it's like McDonald's. I said those movies to me are like McDonald's. You go into a McDonald's, you know what you're going to get,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that doesn't mean that the Big Mac doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. Sorry, I'm off my rant. No, I'm off topic. Let's see here. Greg says Bloodsport is my favorite Canon film. Absolutely.
That's right up there as well. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, Bloodsport's great. Okay, Carlos, here we go. Movie Face Off, Aliens versus Predator. And no, not that horrible movie. He's talking about the two good movies.
Yeah. So that's the second Alien film versus Predator then. Okay.
Yes.
That's tough. It's only by this much. I'll go with Predator because I do absolutely love Aliens. Running Man, Demolition Man. Demolition Man. Yeah, probably Demolition Man. I'll go for that one because the Running Man used to be in my top 10 Arnie film. It's gone out of the top 10 recently, so it's sort of not that great for me anymore. I still like it. I still fucking love the film, but Tootsie, Mrs. Doubtfire. Love them both. That's a tough one, but I'll probably go with Tootsie because I just watched that again recently. That's more fresher on my mind. So yeah.
Nice. I'll go with Aliens, although I love Predator. But Aliens to me, it's damn near a perfect film. It's just so good. Running Man versus Demolition Man. That one's hard because I really do enjoy both. I think I'll go with the Running Man on that one. Tootsie versus Mrs. Doubtfire. It's not even close. Tootsie. I'm one of those people that very, very few people in the minority. I can't stand Mrs. Doubtfire, and I love Robin Williams. Me and Stuart have gotten into heated arguments over that because Mrs. Doubtfire is like in his top 5 comedies of all time. He loves that movie, and I'm just like, hey, I'm glad you do. I think it's a piece of shit. You know, it's kind of like me and you with Blazing Saddles. You know,
oh yeah, there you
watching that episode. I'm going to digress here for a moment. Watching that episode of the three of you tearing apart my beloved Blazing Saddles. Oh God. But upon reflection, I totally understand why. Okay. So I'm not going to hold it against you guys, and I'm not even going to be snarky and say you're wrong. You know, I mean, no, that's not the case. All I will say is that because of the cultural differences, for one thing, okay, as that movie is to a certain age group of the American populace, that movie's beloved. Okay. I mean, it just is. But it's part of the culture. It just got weaved into the American fabric, you know, from the last 50 years. Whereas the European market might be looking at it from a different perspective. My thing with you guys is that you guys were saying that it was like a spoof of Westerns. And it's like, no, it's not a spoof of Westerns at all. It just happens to take place in the Old West. It's a spoof of racism, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. So, but we're gonna get into some of our disagreements upon movies later on in the show, because yeah, I've got one question in particular just lined up for you, pal. I'm gonna give you ample opportunity to explain things, so you know it's all gonna be good. Robert Duvall not in Godfather Part 3. That is correct. He wanted too much money.
They didn't want to pay him. Yeah.
Yep. So that's why they got what's his face. Hamilton.
Yeah, George
Hamilton.
Yeah.
George Hamilton, who was quite good in the role. I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
Jack Lemmon is a girl in Some Like It Hot 1959. Yeah, as far as like Tootsie and Miss Doubtfires goes, yeah, that one's definitely. Larry's right there with me. All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate your support. Patrick, The Running Man is my least favorite Arnold film. The remake with Glenn Powell is going to stay true to the novella. That I
I
am
wonder
looking
how
for.
true, because I do have the novel. I've read it.
They got to
And
change that
I don't.
ending.
I don't think they're gonna. Yeah,
They
exactly.
got
I
to
was gonna
change
say
that
that.
ending.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that is going to be truer to the source material, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I do like the novel. It's a good story in the book. Yeah, it's.
But yeah, that's a very problematic ending. There's
Yeah.
no way in
I don't
hell.
think they can do that. Yeah.
Good Morning Vietnam is my least favorite Robin Williams film. Wow. Alrighty.
I do like that film. Yeah.
I do too. It's just another one of those movies that I've seen so many times. That was a huge hit. We had it at my theater for 2 months. And being a projectionist and usher, you see those movies basically every day, 4 times a day. So
I can imagine. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Beverly Hills Cop is one of the greatest 80s comedies of all time. I know it by heart. I can hear it in my fucking sleep because we had that one for 6 months. I never want to watch it again. I just okay. But he brought up a good topic here, okay? Because I know when he said The Running Man is his least favorite Arnold film. How about you? Because I know you're a big Arnold fan. What's your least favorite?
Other than Hercules in New York.
Well, yeah. Okay. What's your least favorite mainstream film since he became Arnold? I mean,
probably Junior or Batman and Robins, either one of them two.
Yeah, Batman and Robin's pretty bad.
Yeah. But yeah, Junior is kind of like his Stop and My Mom Will Shoot. It's not funny at all. It's
yeah.
I mean, I love Sly, but come on, Stop and My Mom Will Shoot. Yeah. No
that's
thanks.
your least favorite Sly? I thought you were something.
Expendables 4 is my least favorite Sly.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I've seen that one, but
yeah.
Yeah.
What about Robin Williams? You a fan of him?
Yeah, I love Robin Williams. I love him more in his more serious role. I do love him, as the funny man, of course. But I love him in Insomnia with Pacino. I think that's such an underrated performance of Robin Williams. He's fantastic in that 1 Hour Photo as well. Yeah, those would be some of my favorites. Interruption number 2, folks.
Yep, my grandson just arrived. It's just one of those days. That's okay. We're just going to roll with the punches here. All right. So let's jump back into the comments here. Yam says, my favorite Cannon film is I got to go with 10 to Midnight, then Last American Virgin, then Murphy's Law. With my least favorite being Barbarians. That's a load of tosh for me. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Last American Virgin, man. That movie tore my heart out.
Yeah, we watched that one. I rewatched that one recently. I was really enjoying that. That ending was like, you bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I was like the age of those characters, a little bit younger the first time I saw that movie. And yeah, I'm like, oh wow, this guy's gonna get the girl and this, that, and the other. And then at the end, it's like,
what an ending.
You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Williams cameos roles Robin Williams is into that Julie. I don't remember him in that. I can't even say what it is, but I know the movie she's talking about. That's the one with Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo, and Wesley Snipes is the drag queens.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know Robin Williams did a cameo in that movie, so no idea. Okay, let's see here. Larry says Insomnia is awesome. Patrick also is a fan. Junior should be called Two Men Having a Baby.
Yeah, I mean, whoever thought it was funny to have Arnold be pregnant? I mean, of all people, it's like, come on, I'm pregnant, look at me. My nipples are so sensitive. He loves soft my skinnies. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see him in labor just to go, those Conan grunts. It hurts.
It's not coming out.
Must admit, I do have a giggle at Stop Where My Mom Will Shoot when Stallone's mom says, make my day, and then they laugh. She does. Yeah. No. I saw that movie once, and I'll never watch it again. That was years ago. I was just, pretty bad. Okay, second game of the day. Best decade. And you can go with any decade you want from the beginning of film all the way to this decade, okay? But I'll ask you a particular genre You tell me what you feel the best decade is and why. Okay. And again, it's just off the top of your head. You're not going to be, nobody's putting a gun to your head. It's not that type of show. Not yet. So, best decade for comedy films.
Ooh, probably 80s. 80s or 90s, one of the two, but probably 80s. Yeah.
Okay. And why?
Well,
like some examples.
Ghostbusters, Twins with Arnold, an actual decent comedy with Arnold rather than fucking Junior. So yeah, so some of them films, yeah. Lethal Weapon, buddy cop film. There's a lot of comedy in that. I love that. Beverly Hills Cop, obviously. Yeah, Eddie Murphy's biggest run, of course, in the 80s, with Beverly Hills Cop, Trading Places. So yeah.
Okay. This one might get you though. Best decade for action. And I don't
80s.
mean Westerns.
Yeah, no, action 80s all the way because, Rambo, Commando, Arnold, Stallone, it's got to be the 80s for me.
Okay. But best decade for Westerns.
Ooh. That's got to be the 60s because that's when the spaghetti Western boom happened with Fistful of Dollars in 64. And then all the way up until 69, they made some great spaghetti Westerns. And in the 70s, they went comedy, so it went downhill there. So yeah, 60s would be my favorite decade for the Westerns.
Okay. Best decade for horror.
That's also, it's got to be either 70s or 80s. No, probably 80s because that's, when the slasher craze happened, with all the Friday the 13th and, all the Halloween sequels and spin-offs and all that shit. No, definitely 80s for sure on that one.
Yeah, just for the practical effects, I always go with 80s.
And that too, yeah. I can't stand CGI, so yeah, it's all day long. It's practical effects for me. Yeah,
dude. I don't mind CGI if it's like enhancing something. I just don't like it when it's the main.
When they just depend on that alone.
Yeah, when it's something that can easily be done practically, and they choose to go CG instead, that pisses me off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I know you said you're not a huge fan, but best decade for sci-fi.
Oh, yeah, some of my favorites came out in the 80s. I mean, obviously, I know that for a lot of people, Star Wars is big. Obviously, for the 70s, so they would go 70s. That's also when the first Alien happened, which is one of my favorites as well, coincidentally. But I mean, in the 80s, you got sci-fi actioners like the Terminator, sci-fi actioners like Predator. My mind's gone blank, but no, Predator is the one I was thinking of. Aliens, obviously. I'll probably go 80s as well for that one.
Very good. Alrighty. See, that wasn't too painful either. All right, now here we go. Hold on, let me just double check here. Yam says, "Must admit, I do have a gig." Oh no, I already did that.
We've done that one.
Thing about Last American Virgin. It's known as a comedy. Personally, for me, I don't find it funny at all. I see it as a drama with a little cheesy humor. But yeah, that ending, bitch.
That was literally my reaction. I was like, "You fucking bitch!"
No, I was just
yeah.
I mean, just like your heart's breaking and you feel like you just got kicked in the nuts. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. I think what it was also what gets me is just because it was just such a total shift. I mean, again, for you're laughing for 80% of this movie up until he takes her to get.
Yeah, it's like a pretty happy-go-lucky teen comedy,
and then all at once, man, it's just like, yeah. Okay, here we go. Greg wants to know, stop. My mom, the shooter, Rhinestone is worst Sly film.
Oh yeah, mine worst is Expendables 4, but out of those two, Super Mom shoot because I actually like Rhinestone.
Yeah. So you stole my thunder, Greg, because I was going to get into that later, but I'll get into it now. Okay. Over the Top, Rhinestone. What the fuck, man? Over the Top, I get. Okay? I mean, I do. I get that. Rhinestone, really?
Yeah.
Again, I don't disparage people for what they like, okay? And it seems like I am right now, okay? And I'm not, okay? But please, you're a smart guy. You're a funny guy. Explain to me the appeal of that movie to you. Because oh my God, man. I don't get it.
Well, I don't know the exact reason. I can't really pinpoint it or anything, but it's I've heard so many so much crap about it, to be honest. And then one day I was like, let's just watch it and make up my own mind. And then I watched it. I was like, this ain't that bad. So it's kind of one of them things. And I am a bit of a country music fan, so that helps. You got Dolly
Okay.
Parton in there. I do like Dolly, so that helps. I mean, Sly, I'll admit, I'll be the first to admit he's not the greatest singer. He's not the best Stallone that sings. That's obviously
No.
Frank. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that. But I don't mind his voice in that film. When he gets quote unquote better later on in the film. Obviously when he begins, he's like shouting all over the place. But then when he actually does the duets with Dolly, it's halfway decent. It's
Yeah, you'll never find a bigger Dolly fan than my wife. Okay,
oh, there you go.
When that woman passes, my wife will be wearing black for a decade. Okay, I mean she fucking worships that woman. But even her, I was like, hey, honey, you ever seen Rhinestone? Yeah. Do you like that movie? No.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Everybody, people ask me why I like Hudson Hawk. Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you why I like it. Okay. I mean, I've liked it since the first time I saw it. Or The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. That's another one with Andrew Dice Clay. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a good movie at all. I fucking love it. And I do not know why. I just don't,
Yeah.
But yeah, Rhinestone, like I said, I had to give you some shit about that because we had that at the theater. I worked at a second run theater basically, okay, back in the 80s. I don't mean to make that sound like it was a rundown theater. We were just part of a chain that very rarely we got a first run film. The first run went to our big theater and then they trickled down to us, okay? But Rhinestone, we actually did get brand new opening night, okay?
Yeah.
And
because someone else wanted it.
The first night, no, it was just because it was a summer and there's more releases, so.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, the first night, the first 7:00 show or whatever, it was packed because again, it was a Stallone movie, and Dolly and this and that and the other. I remember sitting there in the back of that theater for 2 hours and not hearing. I heard a laugh once, and that was when it was pitch black, and you just hear Sly go, "This is some serious dark." The way he said it, there was like 2 guys that started laughing. The rest, I mean, people were walking out of that theater like, "Oh my god, this movie's the worst piece of shit I've ever seen." I mean, we had it for 1 week and it was gone. And I mean, yeah. So, but I've never met anybody who will admit, at least, to enjoying that film, except for you. So that's why I give you shit about it. But it's all in fun because again, there's movies on my shelf that when people come over and they look at my shelf, they're like, Sausage Party, really? The Brothers Grimsby, really? I mean, there's shit on my, Humanoids from the Deep. It's like, hey, fuck you. Humanoids from the Deep is great, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got every Steven Seagal film, so yeah.
Yeah, well,
Rhinestone is at least better than 90% of Seagal's movies. Okay, let's put it that way. Yeah.
But no, like I said, I got to give you some shit about Rhinestone. Let's see here. Daniel says 1960s. Have Gun Will Travel. Shit, I lost my comment. I hate the way StreamYard changed the comments now. It's like you barely touch it and it doesn't show. Yeah. Larry's a Blade Runner fan.
80s as well, yeah.
Yeah, I much prefer Rhinestone over My Mom Will Shoot. Also, Dolly Parton is looking absolutely gorgeous in Kirby.
Yeah, she looks like she's smuggling balloons in there. It's yeah.
Yeah, no, Dolly's great. I mean, I love Dolly.
Yeah.
She's an American institution, Larry, Predator, Aliens, and The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
Yeah, The Thing is like, it's so good. Melina, Patrick Swayze turned down roles for Kurt Russell and Sly Stallone and Kurt Russell. Oh, the
Tango and Cash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
you're not a fan. Yeah.
I fucking hate that movie. And again, I know I'm in the minority on a lot of these, which is fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Sly and the Family Rhinestone. Hey, Sly Stone just passed away.
To think that he had the option of Romancing the Stone or Rhinestone, and he picked Rhinestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? I don't know if Stone would have worked in Romancing the Stone the way that Michael Douglas did. Michael Douglas
Yeah.
and Kathleen Turner, the two of them are, I mean, shit, they did 3 movies together, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, they had chemistry together. So,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
and I really like Romancing the Stone. That movie is a lot of fun. 2 big reasons, Dolly Parton. Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember being a kid. And she was on TV once, and somebody asked her, you know, why is your waist so small? And she said, because nothing grows in the shade. I said, she's awesome. Okay, Hudson Hawk is a lot of silly fun. Yeah, it is. It's just, it's not a
Ball
good
ball.
movie. It's Bunny, ball ball.
Ball ball. Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah.
Before Rhinestone, I had no idea Dolly had such an enormous pair. My response, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel, thank you, everyone. I have to go make. Oh, thank you, Daniel, for being here. I appreciate your support on my channel, my friend.
Thank you, Daniel. Have a good one.
Carlos, you, the director, changed the actor for Once Upon a Time, The West, Frank, Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle, and Goodfellas, Henry Hill.
Ooh.
Shit, man.
That's a tough one. Yeah. It's
because again, all 3 of those guys are perfect in those roles.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, I had never seen Henry Fonda ever be anything close to being a villain.
Yeah, nobody did. That was all.
You know,
that was a big thing of it. Yeah.
You know, but I came to that game really late. I didn't see that movie until maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So by that point, Henry Fonda is like, you know, America's sweetheart, you know? So yeah, I don't know. And same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly why Sergio Leone cast him, because you have that opening shot of Henry Fonda being introduced. The camera comes around from the back of his head. Sergio Leone had the idea that the audience at this point will be saying, "Oh, Jesus Christ, that's Henry Fonda!" Yeah.
And he's so fucking good.
Yeah, he is. I don't think I could replace him, to be honest, because he just works beautifully for that role, just because of those reasons. Because you wouldn't think Henry Fonda would play a villain like that. It's
Yeah, I mean, I can't really replace any of them. Seriously, because the same thing with Taxi Driver. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that movie. Okay. But I'm a huge fan of his performance in that movie, because he's totally unhinged, you know, I mean, just totally unhinged. And Goodfellas.
Ray Liotta,
Ray Liotta is like, you know, I'd seen him in movies before that, but that was definitely his calling card. And he's phenomenal in that movie. Yeah. So I'm taking a mulligan on this one, Carlos, for the first time. I can't answer this. I really can't. I don't know if you can, but I cannot.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely cannot picture this guy, and I can't see why he was approached. But for Taxi Driver, apparently Scorsese talked to Dustin Hoffman. Can you imagine Dustin Hoffman as Travis Bickle? I cannot. Yeah.
I mean, I could almost picture Pacino playing that part over, you know, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
but even then, it's like, you know, De Niro embodies that character really well.
Yeah.
And
as
far as Henry Hill goes, I can't replace Ray Liotta just for the cocaine sequence where he's all paranoid seeing the helicopters and shit.
Yeah.
Because he's just so phenomenal in that sequence. I mean, he's great in the whole movie, but he owns that section of the movie. I mean, he just really does. So yeah, I can't answer that one, Carlos. I'm sorry. I'm going to pussy out on this one. I cannot answer that.
Yeah.
Good question though. Yeah.
The only one I can maybe think of for Once Upon a Time in the West, and this is just because I am a big spaghetti western fan. This guy has played a lot of villains in spaghetti western. Maybe Klaus Kinski, but yeah, I can't really see Kinski as Frank either in that film. But that's I guess I kind of an answer for that.
I mean, if you want to go, okay. For the Frank role, let's go with it this route, okay? Because you hit the nail on the head when I mentioned Henry Fonda, okay, that I had never seen him, and you were like, well, that was kind of the point, you know? So using that logic, okay, coming up with an actor around that age, around that time, that you wouldn't see as a villain, who always played somebody decent. I don't know if he could pull it off, but Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, that would be interesting, yeah.
Because again, it would be totally against type.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I don't know if he could pull it off, but that
Yeah,
would
it would
be
be like if today somebody casts Tom Hanks in that role or something. It would be something like that. It's,
right.
yeah.
You know, to a lesser degree, Collateral with Tom Cruise playing the
Mm,
hitman. You know,
yeah.
because he generally doesn't play those types of roles. But no, great question, Carlos.
A very
Dan-
tough one, but a great question. Yeah.
Daniel, I'll watch the recording the rest of you. Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. And you have a great weekend as well. And also, while I'm thinking about it, tomorrow is Father's Day here in the
Yes, it
States. I
is.
don't know if that's a worldwide thing or not, but definitely here in the States. So, all the
Yeah,
dads
same
out
here.
there, I want to wish you a great Father's Day weekend. I hope you have a good and safe one for sure. Okay, let's see him answer his own question here, Jeff. James Stewart.
Yes, that would be
Jimmy
shocking.
Stewart, actually,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Nicholson is Travis.
I can see Nicholson pulling it off. Definitely the unhinged part, anyway. Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is Henry Hill. See, then the problem with that is I think Nicolas Cage would have been a little bit too young.
Yeah.
Because Ray Liotta is a little bit older than him. But Jimmy Stewart,
Yeah,
as Frank, that's I didn't even think about that. That's really good. That's really good. And look, he's all happy. First time I've ever seen Jim Stewart. Yeah, fuck you. And I mean that with love, Carlos. You know this.
Fuck you, as we all know, means friendship.
Okay, we're going to play another game. It's called Overrated, Underrated. I want you to come up with a movie, and it's got to be a mainstream movie that by and large people absolutely love, think it's a great movie, and you don't necessarily have to hate it, but you think it is just overrated as hell. And vice versa. A movie that by and large people think just sucks, and you're like, no, you're wrong. This movie's great. So what would those movies be?
So overrated. I think I've made this statement a few times. Every time I feel people are rating me, but not the biggest Star Wars fan of any of them. I watched the original trilogy. I liked the first one. Beyond that, I was By the second one, I was like, it sort of lost me. So I would say that's over. I don't hate the films. I mean, I can appreciate how well they're made and all that stuff, you know. So it's not like that, but they're just not for me. Not my cup of tea, as my British friends say. Underrated. Well, obviously, I could go for Wayne, so we just talked about that, but I don't really would put the underrated bracket on that anyway. But if we are talking Stallone, though, one that is criminally underrated for me is Lock Up from 1989.
Yeah.
With Sly and Donald Sutherland. I think that film is so under the radar. That film that deserves more love. That one.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Donald Sutherland's great in that movie. Donald Sutherland was great in every movie. He's one of those actors that I just absolutely adored. Okay. Give me a hot take. Something that you think that, you know, you're passionate about, that you think is something, but the majority of the people would be like, what? Are you on crack? What are you talking about? You know, I mean, whenever I say Jason X, okay, you know, I love Jason X, and I'll die on that hill. You know, I mean, that sort of thing. You know, do you have something along those lines?
Yeah, I guess. I guess also, you know, also with talking within a franchise of some of the more underappreciated entries into a franchise. I love Rocky 5. And I like Rocky 5 more than I do Rocky 3 and 4. I got that in my ranking above Rocky 3 and 4. I love all of the Rockies. I mean, it's like choosing a favorite baby. But yeah, Rocky. Plus, you know, Rocky 5 was the first one I saw, so there's maybe that's the reason for it as well. So, but no, I've always felt Rocky 5 is the underappreciated black sheep of the franchise for sure. I mean, I get it. Not everybody loves to see their heroes go down and you know with a downfall and stuff. But hey, you know that's what makes Rocky so relatable. That's why he's my favorite movie character, because he's so relatable. You just relate to whatever period he goes through in those films. You know, when he's on top, when he goes down, all that stuff. But we all have, you know, periods of success, but then eventually, for everyone, there's going to be a downfall, and that's the same for Rocky and Rocky 5. You know, some bad shit happens. He loses his money, he goes back to being pretty much the Rocky from the first film again, but then with brain damage. But which is never explained again in Rocky Balboa. But never mind.
I was wondering.
I can nitpick my favorite films too. But no, I still like Rocky 5. It's still a story in that, in the a chapter in his life that deserves to be told and is still part of the series. It's just part of it. So I still love Rocky 5. Yeah.
No, that's great. But yeah, that surprised me. Not so much that you love Rocky 5, because I know how much of a fan you are of that whole franchise, but by you saying that you prefer it to 3 and 4, but by saying that was the first one you saw, then it's like, okay, that totally makes sense, because nostalgia always plays a part with these things. I just remember the blowback that I got back a couple of weeks ago when I dare said anything negative at all about part 3 or 4. And and again, I'll stand by it. I'm not shitting on the movies. I'm not. Okay. I loved those movies back in the day. I mean, I saw every Rocky movie through 5 theatrically. Okay. And when it came to Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, I saw those two numerous times on my own dime. That was before I was working at the theater. But as the years went by, it's like I still love those first 2 Rocky movies. To me, they're perfect. And again, it's like Kill Bill for me. You could combine them into one movie, and it would be just one 4-hour movie, and it'd be great.
You absolutely can. Yeah.
And definitely. As far as I'm concerned, they could have stopped it right there and thrown out the rest. Now, I'm not saying that the rest is disposable, but that, in my own opinion, it's like that's where the story you could end it right there, and you'd be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Rambo, because Rocky and Rambo, those 2 franchises will always be connected. They just will. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether it's fair or not. Okay. They will be. Okay. Kind of like when people talk about Harrison Ford, they talk about Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Okay. So it just is what it is. But the Rambo films, the first Blood, again, you could have ended it right there.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah.
And you would have been just fine. Okay?
Yeah.
But I love those fucking Rambo movies. I mean, I do. The first one to me is its own thing. It's like, it's not even an action movie to me. It's a drama.
It's a drama, yeah.
With some action thrown in and a heartbreaking ending. That monologue that he gives at the end is, to me, the best acting that Stallone's ever done in his career. It just is. That moment is so good,
That is a fantastic scene. Yeah, definitely.
Everything that came after is a cartoon.
Pretty much, yeah.
But they're all very enjoyable cartoons. Yeah. Well, the last one, not so much. But that's
another one where I'm like, I like Last Blood. I like it more than Rambo 3, but yeah.
You liked it more than which one?
Than the third one.
Yeah, see, the third one and the fifth one are like kind of like they go back and forth as far as which one to me is at the bottom. But the fourth one is the one that really shocks me, because that was the one, when that one came out, I was laughing. I was like, really? Isn't he a little bit old to be, rocking through the jungle and shit?
Yeah.
And then I saw that Red Band trailer for it when it came out.
50 cal machine gun.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I saw that and I was like, fuck, I'm in. And I did, man. I went and saw that movie opening night and sat there for an hour and a half like, yeah, this movie fucking rocks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoy that one. But the fifth one, it's not really a Rambo movie to me. It reminds, hold on, I'm sorry.
No worries.
There we go. Interruption number 3.
Number 3.
Throwing me off my game here, but we'll get off that because I know I'm missing a lot of people here in the comments now. I want to acknowledge this really quickly before I forget. Blue Rise here. Hey, Roy, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Roy.
Evening, guys. Dropping by to say I will watch on playback. Thank you so much, Roy. I always appreciate your support. And also, while I'm here, before I go any further, I want to throw out a couple of shout outs to a couple of my subscribers. The first one, Sarah Presswood. Her father is going through stage 4 kidney cancer and is getting ready to start a new medical trial of some kind. So I just wanted to let Sarah know that I'm thinking about her, and best thoughts and prayers and wishes go out to her and her family, especially with this
Indeed.
being Father's Day
Yeah.
weekend. So, by all means, I hope things go well with that trial for you, Sarah. And on a happier note, one of my most dedicated subscribers, this guy, he busts my balls on just about every video I've ever put out for the last year and a half. Barry, aka Bal 5884. I'm sure a lot of you in the comments will know who Barry is. He doesn't have a channel as far as I know, but he pops into just about everybody's channel.
Yeah.
Today's his birthday, so I want to wish Barry a happy birthday today. So
Happy
Barry,
birthday to the president of the UK Steven Seagal fan club.
there you go. So Barry, from all the way over here from the USA to you in the UK, when you watch this on replay, happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have a great one. Okay,
Indeed.
let's get back into the comments here real quickly. Yam says the remake of Death Wish for me is a huge no-no. Bruce Willis is Paul Kersey. I'd prefer them to not been a remake, but seems they did. I'd rather Stallone be Kersey.
Stallone was attached to the remake for a while. Back in the I guess 2010 to 2011, around that time, he was attached to the remake, but didn't work out, and they obviously went with Willis. I think Sly was like, "Well, I've already done one remake, which wasn't really successful with Get Carter."
Get Carter.
So yeah, let's not be involved with this one. Yeah.
Right. That movie. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that movie either.
Yeah.
For a multitude of reasons. I mean, it's supposed to be set in Chicago, and yet it's clearly Vancouver.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I'm a Chicago guy. It's like,
even the untrained Dutchman spotted that one. So yeah.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Larry, Lockup is solid. Yeah, Lockup's a really good movie. Oh, here we go. Patrick's got a good one for you. Who is the prettiest actress Arnold co-starred with? Because he's been with some beautiful women.
He's had some great ones. Yeah, Sharon Stone springs to mind instantly in Total Recall, of course.
Yeah.
Honey, we're married. The divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers. Yeah, but
Jamie Lee in True Lies doing her
Jamie Lee that dance. Yeah. Even I like Linda Hamilton in the first one and Terminator 1 as well. So
Kelly Preston in Twins.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Even Maria Conchita Alonso and
oh yeah, I had her in that spandex suit, man. Woo.
Yeah.
I'm going to say please.
I can snap your neck like a chicken's. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, there's been some great ones for Arnie. Yeah.
Yeah. No shit. I'll go with Kelly Preston.
I'll go Sharon Stone.
Just because Kelly Preston at that age, she was pretty damn hot. She was just, yeah. I'll go with Kelly Preston.
Yeah, she'll be a runner-up, but I'll probably go with Sharon Stone.
Yeah, Sharon Stone's pretty damn hot too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yam says overrated for me. The Blair Witch Project, worst piece of tosh I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I wasn't a fan. Yeah.
I saw that in a packed theater when it was like 100 degrees because the air conditioning didn't work, and then watching that shaky cam for 2 hours gave me the worst migraine I've ever had in my life. And the whole time I'm like, would somebody just kill this annoying bitch and shut her up? I mean, she was just, oh God. Mike is here. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Yam says, I like Lockup. I also like Set Around Jails.
There's some great prison films. Yeah. It's
Did you ever see Fortress with Christopher Lambert?
That does ring a bell. Yeah.
Kurtwood Smith is the
I love that guy.
Warden. Yeah. Clarence Boddicker. Bitches leave. Still one of the greatest lines in history.
I love that guy. One of the greatest villains ever. Yeah.
Yeah. I could watch that character over and over and over in anything. I mean, you could just put him in just about anything, that type of movie, and I would. Yeah. I love Clarence.
Take Jones.
Yeah.
Take Jones.
Guns.
Yeah.
The Tigers are playing tonight. I never miss a game. Love Alien 3 despite everyone hate. I'm a big fan of Alien 3. I've never gotten the hate on that movie. I don't like it as much as the first two Alien movies, but
not by a mile. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Yam also says Rocky V is the first one that he saw as well.
There you go.
Larry says, First Blood Part 2 was my favorite for the longest time, but first film has become more of my favorite as I've gotten older. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's always one of them with both franchises, with Rocky and with Rambo. Like when you're a kid, when you're in your teens, you obviously gravitate towards some more popcorn entertainment films, like Rocky 4 for that franchise, and Rambo 2 for that franchise. But as you get older, your tastes change and all that stuff, and you're like, oh, actually, the more serious one is the better one. So yeah.
And Brian Dennehy is
Yeah.
just so good in First Blood, And
I'm
what
gonna
gets
pin
me
that
when I was a
Congressional
kid-
Medal of Honor to his liver. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was like, he would show up in movies, even when he was playing somebody nice, and I'd still be like, fuck that guy.
It's fucking Diesel from First Blood, yeah.
First Blood.
Yeah.
Same with Terminator. Yep. Yeah, T2 to me is still better than the original, though. I mean, it's just Terminator 2 to me is damn near a perfect movie. It's just
T2 is my favorite action film of all time. So yeah.
It is just so good. Do you think Rocky would be just as loved as it is now if they only did 1 and 2? Or do you think it's all the depth through the other entries that created the love for the character?
I don't think Sly's career could have endured as much if he didn't do the other ones. Because obviously, if you look Rocky 1 and 2, 76, 79, in between he did movies like Fist and Paradise Alley, which weren't really the biggest hits. So he really needed Rocky 2 again to have another hit. Afterwards, he followed it up with Escape to Victory, which also wasn't a big hit. I do like the film, though. And Nighthawks, which is criminally underrated as well.
That's a top 5 Stallone movie for me.
Yeah, I love Nighthawks. But again, they weren't really commercial successes or anything. So you needed Rocky 3 and First Blood in 82 to have the, continue his career, really. But, yeah, it's tough, that one.
Yeah, I think the Rocky character would still be beloved, but I don't think it would have been as big as it became.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have gotten the Creed spinoff and this and that and the other. I mean, obviously, probably never would have gotten the statue in Philadelphia.
That's true, because that was introduced for Rocky 3. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And yeah, you made Kenny so happy when you said that you wanted to visit Philadelphia, and I was like, dude, I totally pictured that. I'm like,
it's top of my list of places to go. If I ever go to the States, it'll be Philly.
Yeah. Like I said, most people from Europe are like, if I go to America, I want to go to Vegas, or I want to go to the Grand Canyon, or I want to do this. Not Jeff. He's like, no, fuck that. I want to see the Rocky statue.
Yeah, I want to run those fucking steps, baby. Yeah.
You want to go see the Liberty Bell? Fuck the Liberty Bell. Where's the statue?
Yeah. Just the statue. Yeah. Run the steps. Go to the Sly shop that they got down there now at the bottom. Yeah.
Larry's also a fan of Kelly Preston. Yeah, she was just beautiful. Rest in peace.
Indeed.
Rambo 2008 is my personal favorite in the
It's brutal. It's fucking brutal.
So brutal.
Yeah.
I want to throw your baby in the fire.
Yes, that does happen.
Jesus Christ.
When they said war is hell, I
watch people react to that movie. They always get all disgusted and pissed off when the guy's got the little boy, It's like,
and then Rambo
didn't have a problem when he was throwing the baby in the fire. It's like, what the hell, man? Choose your outrage.
That guy is the best kill in the film when Rambo comes up and rips his throat out. Gina Gershon, Red Heat. Yeah, love Gina Gershon. Yeah.
Your 3 most overrated high-profile actors.
Not to step on anybody's toes, but I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan. I do like him in certain films, but a little overrated, I'd say. That is a good question because I got to think.
Not a Sandler fan. Man. Because I do like Tom Cruise, so.
Not the biggest Keanu Reeves fan, although I do like him in Devil's Advocate, and I did actually enjoy the John Wick films when I finally got around to those. Can't think of a third one, though. But
Carlos, what the fuck, man?
Seems like his mission was to stump us. Well, he succeeded.
Yeah, I thought we were friends, man. See, because if you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have said Timothy Chalamet. But I'm starting to come around on him. I don't think he's as great as everybody seems to think he is, but he is a pretty good actor, you know. So, shit. Yeah, because most of the actors I don't like aren't considered, you know, highly rated anyways. I mean, like I always give you guys shit about Steven Seagal. You know, I mean, what the hell? But there ain't too many people that are going to say that he's a great actor.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
a good
not relevant anymore as well. But yeah,
you know. So, but yeah, Adam Sandler, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, Sandler. I'm full Sandler. I'm not the biggest Sandler fan because I got Jack and Jill coming up in my review series. So yeah.
I'm kind of hit and miss when it comes to Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you know, because she can be very funny, but then there's other movies that I'm just like, yeah, this ain't for me. But I'm trying to think of somebody dramatic.
Yeah, it's hard.
Jared Leto is kind of annoying. I mean, but again, he can be a good actor too. You know, he was really good in Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, those would be the ones I would go with. Friggin' Carlos. Gotta be Jamie Lee Curtis in that Dance from True Lies. Yeah, absolutely. And when she fell, that was totally unscripted.
Yeah, that was you see Arnold
stated
almost,
character. That reaction was real. I mean, that is so good.
Do it doucement. Do it very slowly. Yeah. No, then sexy. Yeah.
That's the part that gets me is when she starts doing.
When she, yeah.
Let's see here. Arnold Schwarzenegger working with Linda Hamilton since Linda Hamilton's she's great. Meow. Yeah.
I know Yam Yam's a fan of her in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite Rocky used to be Rocky 3 for the longest time, but after rewatches, this may surprise me. My favorite Rocky film is Rocky 2. Rocky 2 is my favorite.
No, Rocky 2 doesn't get enough love, so yeah, it's
Rocky 2 is actually my favorite. I love both the original two, but Rocky 2 is my favorite. Probably because he wins. I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger not working with Margot Robbie and Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence. Okay. Most overrated: Robert Redford, Tom Cruise, and Alec Baldwin for me.
Oh.
They're good for me, but not great for me. Again, it depends on the performance. You know, like Alec Baldwin, we just talked about Glengarry Glen Ross. The Departed. I thought he was fucking phenomenal in The Departed. And he's just, you know, in a really underrated film with him and Anthony Hopkins called The Edge.
I've seen that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a real good movie. And Robert Redford, you know, I grew up watching Robert Redford movies. So, you know, 3 Days of the Condor alone is worth the price of admission for Redford for me. So, and the two films that he did with Paul Newman, of course.
Of course, yeah.
So, Will Smith, I feel, is overrated. Yeah, actually, I do too.
I don't like Smith
before
anymore.
The slap.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I like Will Smith. I'm not saying that, you know, I own a couple of his movies, but yeah, I definitely was not the type of person that's like, oh shit, he's got a movie coming out, I got to go see it.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the latest Bad Boys film, so there you go. Yeah.
I gave up after the second one, believe it or not. So, and again, I'm not shitting on those movies. It's just, you know, Michael Bay. We could talk about Michael Bay on a whole different podcast.
Yeah,
because to me, The Rock is still his best movie. And it's not
I would agree.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close, you know. So, because that movie's great. I love The Rock. If I remember correctly, Stallone is in the Hall of Fame in the sport of boxing due to his inspiration with the character of Rocky. Yeah, probably.
Good fun fact. I wonder if Robert De Niro is Carlos.
I knew as soon as I let that comment up, I knew that shit was coming, man. I knew that shit was coming. Okay, here's a goofy one for you. We're gonna go with the Battle of the Chucks.
Ooh.
Norris versus Bronson. Who you got? And I ain't talking about a physical thing. I'm talking about if you can only watch one of their movies, Bronson movies or Norris movies. The other one does not exist in your dojo. Which one you going to go with? Because I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is going to be, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
could be
it doesn't
surprised.
really matter which one I pick because either way, I'll get some great canon films, so it's no loss in that department. But definitely, yeah, Bronson. It's got to be.
Yeah, I got to go with Bronson. And again, that's not really fair because Chuck started in the 70s, and Bronson was around with The Great Escape and
Oh yeah,
Magnificent Seven and all those great movies from Dirty Dozen.
yeah. Magnificent
Okay.
Seven, all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Carlos, good shout on Will Smith. Yeah. Agreed. The Rock is his best film. Yeah, The Rock is just.
It's awesome.
It's such a fun movie, And Sean Connery.
Oh, I love Sean Connery. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Sean Connery fan. Yeah.
Take the Bond films out. Okay. Top 3 Sean Connery films.
Ooh. I've always said my favorite non-Bond film of his is The Man Who Would Be King with him and Michael Caine. I love that film.
Great movie.
Yeah. Big fan of his collaborations with Sidney Lumet. Anyway, I love The Hill as well and The Offense. Those are great films. I'll pick one of those. I'll pick The Hill. I like that slightly better than The Offense. Yeah. And I guess I would go with The Rock, but there's also Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, where he's fantastic in. There's also The Untouchables. God, there's so many. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to give some love to Outland. I love Outland.
Love that one as well. Yeah.
It's High Noon in space.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's literally High Noon in space. It's just. And my dad took me to see that one, and I love that movie. I'll always love that movie. Bronson all day. Bronson. Chuck Norris has never made a great film. Now, again, that's subjective. If you're talking like a great film as far as like a masterpiece goes, then yeah, I'd agree with that statement. But if you're saying that he never made a movie that, I love or that I think was, a great time, Code of Silence is a great movie to me.
Yeah. Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yeah, Lone Wolf McQuade, Invasion USA.
That's my favorite, is Lone Wolf McQuade. Yeah.
Delta Force is fun. I even like stuff like Silent Rage.
I love Silent Rage.
And Arrow and the Terror. Just goofy. Now, when you're talking about Firewalker, that movie's a piece of shit. Yeah. That movie's a piece of shit. Or Sidekicks, or any of that crap. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. But no, Chuck had a nice run there.
Definitely, yeah.
Let's see here. There's many high-profile actors I cannot stand. To name a few: Nicolas Cage, Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro, Powers Booth. Now.
Powers Booth. Wow.
We got some fighting words there, Yam. Powers Booth was fucking phenomenal in every movie. I never saw that man give a bad performance. So that one shocks me. But to each his own. Even though you're wrong. Because you're a fan of Powers Booth, I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in something like Sudden Death with Van Damme, he plays the villain Powers Booth. He's fantastic. He's the best thing about that thing. He totally overshadows Van Damme. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And again, I cannot think of a single movie that I saw him in that I was like, nah, he's phoning it in. He was. I mean, just Tombstone alone. But I mean, Southern Comfort's the other one that I always come back to. And there's a really under the radar film that a lot of people have never heard of because it was originally an HBO film called By Dawn's Early Light. And it's got a killer cast, okay? But it's more or less a loose remake of Failsafe, which means that a nuclear attack happens by mistake, and in real time, half the government is getting ready to fire back at Russia, and the other half is trying to stop it. And it's basically told in real time. But fantastic movie with Powers Booth, James Earl Jones, Martin Landau, Rebecca De Mornay, Rip Torn. I mean, just great movie. So if you ever get a chance to track that one down, it's really good.
I've got to check that one out. Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's on Prime. But yeah, it's called By Dawn's Early Light. I believe it's from 1990 or somewhere around there. Really, really good movie.
Just make a note of that one quickly. Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Larry says I still need to see Outland. Yeah, Larry, it's just such a fun movie.
Yeah, definitely recommend it.
And Frances Sternhagen, who plays the doctor in that movie, she steals the fucking movie. I mean, she steals just about every movie she was ever in. She's the old lady in The Mist who started throwing the cans of peas. The Presidio, as far as
it's
Sean
okay.
Connery
It's
movies,
not one of my favorites, but it's okay.
solid. It's
decent.
Our film's made great because of Chuck Norris. There you go. And his cameo in Dodgeball was great.
Yeah.
Because I was not expecting that. Fuck Chuck Norris. Oh, God, here we go again. De Niro Academy win for playing a real character in a real boxing film. De Niro turns up part-time in Godfather 2 and wins an Academy, while Pacino huffs and puffs and looks miserable in the movie. Now, Pacino is friggin' awesome in Godfather 2. He really is. I gotta like call bullshit on that one a little bit, because I know what you're trying to do, Carlos. You're just trying to bait us here, But no, friggin' Godfather 2 is great, And
on every level,
I think Pacino's performance in that movie is just as good as Robert De Niro's. I do. It's just it's different, but the scene where he finds out that his wife had an abortion. And before
the look on his face, you see the rage. Yeah, that's one.
It's one of the best moments of acting I've ever seen. It's just it's so good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I could see Julia Roberts being it. Yeah, Julia Roberts, I don't have a problem with, but come on now, man. Powers Booth.
Yeah.
Words and pictures. How about Cynthia Rothrock films? You like this? Now, I will claim ignorance because I'm sure I've seen a couple of movies that she was in, but I'm not really. And again, I don't mean this as a slight. I claim ignorance. I haven't seen a lot of her movies. You, on the other hand, answer the question.
I guess you could say I'm a bit of a fan. Yeah, I mean, I got a poster of China O'Brien right there behind me. Got another thing there that I can show because I actually met Cynthia this year.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
That was last February. I'm going to meet her again in September, this upcoming. But I'm a big Cynthia fan. She's awesome. Yeah, she's done some great films. Love her Hong Kong stuff. Her American films, kind of so-so, but a lot of the times, but still decent watch. It's definitely better than Seagal's straight-to-video output. That's for sure. So yeah.
No, like I said, I know she's very iconic. It's just I would never really got into those types of films. I'm sure if I watched them, I'd probably love them. So, absolutely love Cape Fear 1991. Yeah, Cape Fear is great. Both versions.
Counselor, come out, wherever you are.
Tombstone, he is great. Yeah, Powers Booth is awesome in Tombstone. Him and Michael Biehn together play off each other so well. Charles Bronson, easy, not a Norris fan. De Niro 2 Super Bowls, but you don't want to take that to the bank and dog day afternoon. Movie quote, she got a great ass.
Great ass.
You got your head all the way up it.
Hoo-ah. Yeah.
Yep. Because
he
was supposed to be on cocaine.
Yeah.
And then they ditched that angle, but that's the reason why
That's why he's so unhinged in that film, yeah.
Yep. And it makes total sense. And the best thing about that scene is the reaction of Hank Azaria, because that was he had no idea that's what Pacino was going to do. So that shit is real. And he's just like, what?
Yeah.
Sean Connery, top 3 for me. Just Cause is my favorite. Rising Sun, and I can't think of a third.
Just Cause is pretty underrated too. Oh,
Just Cause is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Jeff got Charles Laughlin ringing the bell in the background. Sanctuary. I love sudden death and I love rapid fire, but I find Powers Booth's face very smug, and his face expression is always the same with that smirk. Put me off.
Yeah, that made him great for playing bad guys. So
No, like I said, Powers Booth is just one of. I mean, I think my love for him started with Red Dawn, because I was a kid in high school when that movie came out, and he steals that fucking movie. He's just so good as the Major. Presidio for the longest time. This guy, and I can't think of his name. I always thought that was Tom Cruise. No, it's Mark Harmon.
Mark, yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Jethro Gibbs from from NCIS.
NCIS, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Back off, F.A. She's mine. Yeah.
We'll let her decide that in September.
I know Gareth is a big fan of Cynthia Rock as well. Texas, Cynthia's Rock is great in The Magic Crystal.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah.
Jeff, give us an Arnie, Connery, and Pacino quote impression.
You're a funny guy, Carlos. I like you. It's so good to kill you last. You remember when I promised to kill you last? I lied. Welcome to The Rock. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Yes, Miss Moneypenny. Yeah. Pacino, what am I going to do? You want Pacino from Scarface? You want him from Godfather? You want him from Son of a Woman? I can do all Pacinos, but
whatever you want, man. You think you can blow my nose on that one? Oh, man, The Rock, that was great. I'm going to clip that.
Losers always whine about their bashed. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
For Pacino, I gotta do Tony Montana, man. You know, it's that fucking accent, man. People say it's over the top. It's meant to be over the top, you know. The whole film is over the top, you know. It fits perfectly, okay? Anybody don't like it, you go fuck yourself, okay?
Oh,
you need people like me, so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the guy who does the impressions. That's me. Yeah.
Oh, man, you're killing me. Oh, God.
I'm just getting started.
Oh, God, that was awesome. Thank you. Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat is based on Cynthia Rothrock.
Yes.
Yes, I was aware of that.
True.
I was aware of that.
And Johnny Cage is based on JCVD. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I am a huge film fan, though. And Carlos, awesome job. Yeah, that was great. Okay. All right, next one. You find yourself on a desert island with no volleyball in sight. But you do have electricity, and you do have a TV and a Blu-ray player, but you only have 3 desert island films to occupy your time. What are those 3 films?
Yeah, see, I knew this question would come up because obviously I did watch your show, watch pretty much all of them. But and I was sort of thinking, what if I'm gonna get this question, what am I gonna say? But it's just hard to narrow down to 3. It's yeah. Obviously Scarface, because it is my favorite film of all time. It is the one. Well, it's the reason why I'm here. It's the reason why I'm on YouTube. Is because of that film that opened up everything to me. Once Upon a Time in the West, I'll probably bring along as well, because it's my second favorite movie of all time, and well, it's a spaghetti western. Gotta have a spaghetti western with me. And I guess if I'm on a desert island, well, I need some inspiration. Let's bring Rocky along as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Same scenario. Okay, but this one's interesting. No movie player, but you do have like audio equipment, and you're allowed to have 3 soundtracks or scores.
Ooh.
What would those be? And it
That
could be either
one.
or. It could be either or both.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, I gotta have Morricone because he's my favorite composer. So my favorite score is Once Upon a Time in the West. I gotta bring that soundtrack. The Rocky soundtrack, any one of them, because they're just inspirational, and they would get me. I would do a training montage on the island to get out of there. So,
of course you would.
And I think the most appropriate one would be the Rocky IV soundtrack. Let's be honest. When it comes to the soundtrack departments, Rocky IV all the way. Because No Easy Way Out, Eye of the Tiger, Burning Heart, all that stuff. The third one. Let's bring the good, the bad, and the ugly soundtrack as well. Why not? Because it's
Yeah,
kick ass. Yeah.
gotta have that. One.
Even people that haven't seen the film, they know that soundtrack. They know that theme. So it's
Yep. Yeah, I knew that music before I knew the movie. My
Yeah.
father had the album, and when I was a kid, I listened to it down in the basement and just thought it was the coolest music I had ever heard in my life, and had no context.
Yeah.
As far as what the movie was, and then I saw the movie when I was like, I don't know, 12 or so, and it to this day it's my favorite Western. I mean, it's just it's a masterpiece. It really is.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's see here. Molino says Sean Connery Bond last film is Octopussy. That is incorrect.
That is incorrect. Yeah.
No,
Let's never say never again.
Yes, which came out the same year as Octopussy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you were thinking of, and that is an unofficial James Bond movie. But yeah, saw both of those movies at the drive-in.
It's last official one is Diamonds Are Forever. But yeah.
Yes. Let's see here. Jeff, you should consider voice acting. Audio voice work is big business these days. Having a range makes you a commodity. Hey, there you go.
That's what I've dabbled in it. I've done some projects for Gareth where I've done some voice stuff, but yeah.
That's what people used to say about my voice. They were like, dude, you ought to be on radio. Or I'm like, yeah, I got a face for radio, Yeah. If I could only pick 3 on the spot, I'll pick Grease, Savage Streets, and Falling Down. Falling Down. Great movie. Yeah, I really enjoy Falling Down. Okay. Let's talk some directors here. Okay. We know that you love directors like, Sergio Leone and John Carpenter. And so, about 3 directors that you feel are underrated, that don't get the love they deserve? And it could be spaghetti Western directors. It could be anything that you're, that you really like.
Yeah. So yeah, underappreciated. I mean, obviously, if we're talking about spaghetti Western, I'm going to mention one from that genre. Everybody talks about Leone, of course, and with good reason. But there is Sergio Corbucci, who comes very, very close with, Django and The Great Silence. And he's on 13 spaghetti Westerns, actually. So he's more prolific in that genre than Leone was. But, Leone's done, obviously, the masterpieces. But, no, Sergio Corbucci, for good reason, he's dubbed the second best director of spaghetti Westerns and the second Sergio. So it's definitely Corbucci's, definitely very underrated. Navajo Joe as well, great film. Even though Burt Reynolds didn't like it, but I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Let's see, underappreciated directors. I kind of like the work of J. Lee Thompson that he did with Charles Bronson. His 9 films, 9 films that he did with Bronson. There's some great ones there. St. Ives, The White Buffalo. Evil That Men Do, which isn't a canon film from the 80s, but it feels like a canon film.
Yeah, I thought it was a canon film at first.
I kind of like his collaborations with Bronson. This is a tough one. Underrated directors. I mean, well, he doesn't get the spotlight he deserves, I guess. But I'm a big De Palma fan.
I love De Palma.
Not many people talk about De Palma anymore, but even if we just take that little film there out of the picture, you got Carlito's Way, you got Untouchables, you got Blowout, you got Dress to Kill, you got Body Double,
Carrie,
Casualties of War.
Yeah.
Even Raising Cain. I like Raising Cain as well. So yeah, I love De Palma, and obviously everybody remembers him for the Pacino films, mostly for Scarface anyway. But yeah, there's so much more to De Palma's work. It's I feel he's underappreciated. Yeah.
Yeah. No, when I was a kid, De Palma was pretty big, but he was considered like a Hitchcock ripoff artist. That's what people used to call him. Was all he does is rip off Hitchcock, and it's like, you know what? I don't care if he rips off Hitchcock or not. He does it very well, and he wears his influences on his sleeve. Jump forward 30 years. And those same arguments are being made about Tarantino. All he does is rip off this and rip off that and rip off this. And my argument remains the same. Fuck you. I don't care if he's ripping these people off or not. He's wearing it on his sleeve. He's not hiding it. And it's entertaining, And De Palma was one of the big influences on me when I was a kid. Yeah. So that's a great answer. And Blowout. I
Yeah,
mean,
love Blowout. Yeah, watching it
God,
again
that movie
recently.
is so good.
Yeah,
John Travolta, I don't think
probably my favorite Travolta film. Probably.
it's
Yeah.
my favorite Travolta performance without a doubt. As much as I love him in Pulp Fiction, I think he's
Yeah,
better in Blowout. He's just in the last moment of that movie
it's a good
where
scream. Yeah,
it's a good scream. It's a very
yeah.
good scream. It's just, I mean, even now the hair on the back of my neck
Mm.
is standing up just thinking about it. It's just, it's so effective and so good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great answers. Uh, great stream, Jim and Jeff, and fair play, my young movie fan. You took the shit while shooting the shit. Speak soon. Yeah, we know it's all good fun. Carlos, and yeah, Carlos is great. He's a great guy, and he loves
Yeah.
giving us shit, giving us both shit. So it works out.
Yes, he does.
but that's okay. But anyways, guys, we are starting to come up to the 2-hour mark. We only got about 15 minutes left. So if you have any other questions for me and Jeff, this would be the time. I'm not quite done here, but we do like the interaction with all of you fine folks in the comments. So keep them coming. We really appreciate it. Yeah, John Travolta's awesome. Yeah, again, Travolta. I could take him or leave him. Some of his movies, especially lately. Because he kind of fell down the same hole as, well, sounds like I'm picking on Bruce Willis because of his medical condition, and I'm not. But Bruce started doing a lot of
the straight to DVD films.
Yes, and that's where I see Travolta's career kind of going. To a lesser degree, Nicolas Cage, although it seems like Cage is starting to get a renaissance.
Yeah, with Cage is weird. He does like a string of like very low budget like straight to video, and then he does a big film. It's like all over the place.
Kind of ebbs and flows. You
yeah.
know? But I still like Cage. You ever see Mandy?
I have seen that one, yeah.
What are your thoughts on Mandy? I always ask people what they think about Mandy.
It was something, all right.
It's a movie.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for the majority I liked it, but yeah, it's not a rewatchable one, but I didn't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fever dream, man. I mean, that's the only way I can really describe that movie. It's a mind fuck fever dream. Because I remember because I have seen it more than once. I actually own it.
Yeah.
But every time it's come up on a show or whatever, I always tell people I have never recommended that movie to anybody. Because it's like I can't think of too many movies on my shelf that are more divisive than that one. I mean, it's one of those movies that it's like either you like it or you don't, and there's no I've yet to meet somebody that go, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's normally, what the fuck was that, man? Okay, real quick here. Let me double check, make sure I didn't miss anybody here. So, what do you got coming up on your channel, Jeff?
Well, the Pacino review that's still going. Still got a few left. I think this upcoming Friday it's going to be Ocean's 13. I think that's the next one. Yeah, I just got my 80 minutes review yesterday. I'm going all the way up until Stand Up Guys from 2013 and this quote unquote season of Pacino reviews. So that means there's still Jack and Jill coming up. You Don't Know Jack, which is much better than Jack and Jill. It's much better film with Jack in the title. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one's good where he's playing Kevorkian.
Yeah, that's
yeah. I saw that on HBO.
Yeah, that's coming up, and also I think very underrated, not underrated, very obscure straight to video film that he did for the paycheck, I guess, Son of No One with Channing Tatum. That's still yet to come as well. Not the biggest fan of it, but watch the review for further details, of course. So I got that coming up about 2 weeks from now. Am I saying that correctly? What's the date actually? The 14th? No, on the 30th, I'll be on Talking Movies and Westerns for Life podcast on Dan's channel again with Carlos. We're going to be counting down our top 10 action films on a live stream. So yeah, will be Dan's top 10, Carlos's top 10, and my own. So I'm working on making those choices and all that stuff. Other than that, I got actually, it's good that there was a soundtrack question included tonight because I do have a soundtrack video coming up on some of my favorite soundtracks. I think I did a top 20, so that's coming soon. You'll be pleased to know that one of your favorites is included as well for your favorite Arnie film.
Oh, the Conan soundtrack.
I
Yeah.
love that soundtrack,
God.
man. Yeah,
Dude, if you can listen to that music and it doesn't get your heart
yeah.
pumping, you're dead. I mean, it's
That
just
is one
it's
of the greatest
perfect.
ever. Yeah,
It's just perfect, you know. I mean, from the first time I saw that movie as a child, it was just like, let's go, you
yeah.
know. I mean, it's just
When you
it's
hear that
so
bump bump
good.
that those drums and the
Dun,
Ansel
dun,
of Crown
dun,
theme
dun,
comes
dun,
on.
dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun. Yeah, it's just so fucking
yeah.
good. No, that's awesome.
So yeah, I got that coming up. Yeah,
Yeah, Polydorus is one of those composers. You know, he just unfortunately, you know, he didn't get the career that I hoped that he would have. You know, longevity wise, you know, because he
yeah,
passed away. But you listen to some of his scores, and I mean, they are, you know, Conan, RoboCop.
yeah.
It's just, you know, it's so good. It's just so good. And yeah, it's funny we mentioned him because his son's the one that did Mandy, that
Oh yeah, yeah.
wrote and directed Mandy. So
There you
there you
go.
go. It all comes together in a nice little circle there. Uh, Greg says the color out of space is a crazy. Yeah, that's a Lovecraft type film with Nicolas Cage.
I haven't seen that one. Okay.
That one's bizarre, man. It's right up there with Mandy. It's right up there with Mandy as far as bizarreness goes. It's good though. It's entertaining. Everybody loves my Dunkachino.
Yeah. I swear Pacino's reaction after that when he's like, "Burn this. This must never be seen by anyone." That must have been his reaction to seeing the film. It's gotta be. Yeah.
No, I love Al. I mean, I know you and Carlos always go back and forth, you know, over which one's better, you know, Pacino. And again, quite honestly, I mean, I love them both equally. I mean, I just think they're both just such great actors. And I was so happy when Heat came out, you know, originally seeing that diner scene. Because until that
Yeah.
time, you never saw those two appear on screen together. You know,
True.
even though they
True.
were in Godfather 2, they didn't have any scenes together, obviously. So.
Yeah, different timelines. Yeah. Yeah.
But and that scene is just it's such a masterclass of acting. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
so good. So for that alone, it's like, you know, like I said, I like throwing a little bit of gas on the fire between you two. But again, if somebody held a gun to my head and said, "Hey, which one's the better actor?" I don't think I can answer. I really don't. You know. Now, if you're saying which one do I prefer as far as their films go, I'd probably go with De Niro by a hair just because of Midnight Run. If nothing else, because Midnight Run is like so near and dear to my heart. So it's like
Marvin, watch out! I love Midnight Run. Yeah.
Sidney, calm down. Have a fucking cream soda. Do some fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Dennis Farina, yeah.
No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. No, Midnight Run, it's one of those movies that it gets better every time I watch it. And I've seen that movie, 100 times probably. It's just,
Oh yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. So, but anyways, guys, we are coming up to the 2-hour mark. We're not quite done yet because I've got some whoring to do because I like to whore my own material, and then I'm going to go back to my good guest here, Jeff, and have him whore out his stuff. But before we do, I do want to mention once again to my good subscribers, Sarah Presswood. I want to wish the best to her father, who's going through his kidney trials. It sounds like that's getting ready to start up soon. So, best wishes to your family, Sarah. I truly mean that. I hope everything works out well for you. And your family, of course. And I also want to wish Barry, aka Bell 5884, a very happy birthday. I know you're not here watching this live, Barry, but you said that you were going to check it out on replay. So again, I do want to wish you a happy birthday and thank you for all of the support that you've given me over the last year and a half. And while we're whoring out stuff, on the next edition of this show in 2 weeks, that will be episode number 13. That will be on the 28th of June. My very special guest will be Sean from Cinephile World Order. Sean is one of those guys that was one of the first people that showed up on my channel and originally encouraged me to go on a live stream. He invited me to go on a live stream with him. And that's how the ball rolled with him. So it's a long time coming. I cannot wait to get Sean on my channel. Also, tomorrow, Sunday, the 15th, at 1 p.m. Central Time on our good friend, our mutual friend Dan's channel, the Talking Movies live stream will be the premiere of their newest episode of the Westerns for Life podcast, and that one will be dealing with the 40th anniversary of Silverado.
Yes,
And
indeed.
they have a very special guest, some schmuck that they got from America to join them on the panel, me. So please join in on that one. That show has been pre-recorded, but it will be premiered live, and I will be in the chat talking to people and defending my inability to shut the fuck up. So, and I'm sure Jeff and Carlos will probably be in the chat for that as well. So please, by all means, tomorrow, like I said, 1 p.m. Central Time will be the premiere of that episode, and that's at Dan's channel at the Talking Movies live stream.
Yeah.
So I would appreciate it if you guys can head over there and check that out and give Dan some support, as well as Carlos and Jeff as well. The last little bit of business here is on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time will be the next live episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. Our very special guest will be Texas, from Texas Hardcore. He will be a returning guest. He was on our episode about fucked up love stories, and that was a really fun episode. That's where the whole King Yam thing started for Kenny. But long overdue. We got to get Texas back on there. So we are doing that on Tuesday. And our topic this week will be summer movies that were released in the summertime or have to do with summer. And that one's going to be a lot of fun. So again, that one will be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can catch that one live either on Sean's channel at Movie Assault, or you can check that at the Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim channel, which is Talking Movies 2024. So hopefully you guys can all join us for one or all of those shows. It would really be appreciated. I want to take this opportunity to give Jeff the floor. Jeff, by all means, I know you just talked about it, but anything you want to plug, please, this would be the time. The floor is yours, sir.
Well, if you like me and you like the old school action tough guys like Bronson, Eastwood, and even Stallone and Arnie and all that stuff, my channel would definitely be recommendable for you, I guess, because all that stuff is included there. If you're a fan of spaghetti westerns, come over to my channel, because there's always every now and then there's something on spaghetti westerns, because I just love them so much. Even if you like other genre films like Giallo or Eurocrime, I got that covered too. Actually thinking about doing a massive live spaghetti western ranking, because I'm almost up to 150 spaghetti westerns. I just added a few titles again.
Wow.
I mean, it's barely scratching the surface, because they made about 500 or 600 of them, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I get to 150, I want to do a big, massive live ranking of 150 spaghetti westerns. So that's something that's coming soon. Something I've been doing recently, I haven't done it in a few months now, gotta get back to it, is do the live actor rankings. I've done rankings live of Stallone films, of 50 Stallone films. I've done every Jean-Claude Van Damme film I've seen. I'm planning to do the Dolph Lundgren one, gonna do Dolph Lundgren ranking, a big live one. So that's coming soon. So yeah, tomorrow, obviously, like Jim just said, we're going to be discussing the film Silverado on the Westerns for Life podcast, which is a pre-recorded episode. It's going to be premiering tomorrow. 2 weeks from now, on the 30th, it's going to be action films with Carlos and Dan and myself. There was something else to plug. Oh yeah, I think this upcoming Tuesday I might be on Gareth's channel again, because I'm off work. Oh, by the way, Gareth, I can make your Universal Soldier stream. There you go. I was supposed to let him know, but I might be on Gareth's channel on Tuesday. So yeah, there you go. That's about all I got to plug at this moment. Yeah.
Awesome. So again, everybody, if you haven't already done so, please go over to Jeff's channel. He's at 101 Bronson. You show him some love. Give him a like, a subscribe. Like I said, Jeff's a great guy. He's got a great channel. He does great content with those other two knuckleheads and with Gareth. So please give him some support. You can also find Jeff on Instagram at 101 Bronson as well. I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody in the chat who showed up today and asked questions. You guys, you make this show fun every 2 weeks. It's become the highlight of my week whenever I do this. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Greg, Yam, Carlos, Kenny, Gareth, Melina. I'm going through here to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Sydney, Larry, Words and Pictures, all of you. I cannot thank
Patrick,
you enough.
yeah,
It's the only reason why this show is the success is because of you and with the interaction that we get with the audience. So I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. But most of all, I want to thank my good friend Jeff here. Jeff, this has been an absolute treat. I cannot thank you enough. I'm sorry that you're sweating balls today, but I hope, as soon as you get off the camera, you can cool off a little bit. And I know you're just jonesing for a cigarette. So, but thank you so much for being here, my friend. I really appreciate this. I will definitely be talking to you tomorrow in the chat when we do the Silverado episode. But again, hopefully you'll come back at a later date and we can do this again.
Absolutely. Anytime. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
No, the pleasure's been all mine, my friend.
This was a lot of fun. It really was. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad you feel that way. All right. Well, everybody, I want to thank you once again. Texas, Greg, all of you guys, cannot thank you enough. And again, not to repeat myself too much, but if you get a chance to get over to Dan's channel tomorrow for the Silverado episode, that channel is the Talking Movies live stream. And again, that will be at 1:00 tomorrow. So for the last time, I want to thank Jeff. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming today. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so I hope everybody has a great and safe and happy Father's Day weekend. We'll be catching you all on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Adios.